What is up? Today I'm going to be doing a build that I am calling the Blink Blaster. Now we know what a Blink Blade is. A Blink Blade teleports around and stabs people. We're going to do the same thing, except we're going to teleport around and Eldritch Blast people. Starting off with our race, we're going to be Shadar. Shadar gives us a couple of teleports a day, and also when we use those teleports, we get resistance to all damage. Increases our mobility, is right in theme, and increases our tankiness. Shadar are excellent. On top of that, when we take a long rest, we get a couple of proficiencies. The proficiencies I'm going to use throughout the whole campaign are going to be the Forgery Kit, as well as the Disguise Kit. This will be used to do out of combat things and kind of go a little bit of a ways to making us a roguelite. Going along with that, in our background, I want to pick up some Thieves' Tools proficiency as well as the Stealth Skill proficiency, and probably a Pickpocketing proficiency as well, just to kind of give us more of that roguelike feeling. As for our stats, I'm going to be doing a +2/+1, 17 in Charisma, 16 in Constitution, 14 in Dexterity, 10 in Wisdom, Dump Intelligence, and Dump Strength. At level 1, we're going to pick up Hexblade, and we're going to stick with Hexblade for this whole build. We are definitely going to be doing a Hex Eldritch Blast style combat, so those are the only two things we need to pick up at this level. Everything else is free game. I picked up Mind Sliver just to round out, hey, maybe this target has a lot of AC. Mind Sliver is a good way to still damage and debuff said target. This is nice because we might not be hitting Eldritch Blast consistently against that target. At level 2, I'm going to be picking up Agonizing Blast and Repelling Blast. Agonizing Blast just increases our damage too much not to take, and Repelling Blast is really nice for this kiting style play because we can knock enemies away, move away, and just keep them at a distance better. At level 3, I'm going to be picking up Pact of the Chain. Now that might surprise some people, but there's going to be a very good reason in the future, and in the meantime, we have a incredible utility creature to work with us. Overall, I really love the Imp. We're not going to be using it for combat too heavily. It's mainly used for utility out of combat. I also find that the Pact of the Chain is probably the best pact if you are going deep into invocations that are out of the base Warlock class. The other pacts you can kind of get more out of if you spend invocations on them. Pact of the Chain, that's true, but you just get a ton out of it without the expensive invocation. So that's another reason we're picking it up here. As for our second level spells, Mirror Image is a really great defensive option at this level, but it doesn't upcast well. Whole Person, on the other hand, is good here and probably will be good into the future when we upcast it, though it has to compete with third level spells and it honestly can't, so it might get dropped off as well. Second level spells, not our best spells. At level 4, I'm picking up, you guessed it, Fey Touched. It's just really difficult. We need to round out our charisma, and let's be honest, it's probably the best out of the ones that can round out the charisma for us. And in this case, no different. It also goes directly in theme because it gives us an extra Misty Step per day, but I'm also going to take Bless as kind of an alternative to using Hex. Maybe we have a not as difficult combat, or maybe we've run out of spell slots currently. Bless can be essentially another fight-winning spell similar to Hex for us, increases our damage output by making us better at hitting, but also increases a couple of our allies' damage output, all while protecting our saves as well. At level 5, I'm picking up Lance of Lethargy. So now not only do we knock enemies away, they move 10 feet slower on their turn. Now I recently did a video that explains why Repelling Blast can target the same enemy multiple times, so I know some of you are going to disagree with it, but that is how it actually works, and so you can now knock people 20 feet away and they have 10 feet lower movement speed, so your kiting is really on point here. We're also picking up our third level spells. Hypnotic Pattern is clear standout. We also get things like Fear, and I personally love the summon spells. Honestly, third level spells are fantastic. No matter what fight winning spell you pick up, Fly is also going to be an excellent utility spell to put in our utility belt. At level 6, we get the Accursed Spectre. The Accursed Spectre is kind of difficult to set up. We have to get a killing blow on a humanoid specifically, but if we manage to do so, we get a concentrationless summon for the rest of the day, and that's pretty good. So it's difficult to do, but the payoff is pretty nice. And the Accursed Spectre, it's fast. It can debuff enemies, but it probably won't. Its main thing is that it'll just kind of tie people up and take a couple hits for you while you're in the back using our Eldritch Blast archery kiting style. Speaking of that style, it gets way better at level 7 because we pick up a Relentless Hex. Now this is where we become a true Blink Blaster, and here's how we do that. We have a flying imp that is invisible. If we target it with either our Hexblade's Curse or Hex, we can then teleport to it as if we had Misty Step, so long as it's within 30 feet of us. We don't have to see the creature, we just have to see within 5 feet of them that is in an unoccupied space. So this allows us to continually blink throughout the battlefield by hexing or Hexblade's cursing our own familiar. Now, if we're doing Hexblade's Curse, it's concentrationless, which is really good for combat. So we have a concentrationless minute of free Misty Steps. However, it's not quite free because we give up quite a bit of damage output from using our Hexblade's Curse for this reason. Alternatively, we can use Hex on him, and at this level, we have 8 hours of Misty Step. So it's concentration based, but you can do it for a very long time. Now this could be okay in combat, but a fight winning spell is probably just going to be better. Where this really shines is for utility. Say you have to do an infiltration mission. That is many times that you can blink throughout the house. We can be very roguelike out of combat. And I think it's just really cool imagery as well. That's really where this build shines to me, is it is a highly mobile, kind of control based archer with these big massive spells, because we didn't multi-class out, so we have some powerful spells spells, so we really do a lot. We're just well-rounded overall. But that's just my take on a Blink Blaster. What would you guys do with the same concept? Let me know in the comments down below, but other than that, I'll catch you on the next one. Later.